music like I used to. I be doing so much reading, studying, and trying to prove things. I'm like a lawyer on land, you dig? Right now, I'm getting myself together so I can get out of here. Go take care of my BI. Want to solve some problems. You know, that's where we great. That's where we shine at. We're gonna stick to our strengths. We ain't gonna, I can't carry nobody else load. You know, I'm reading that Bible. That Bible, man. The Bible is deep, family. I'm talking about solutions. You know, there's a law that says if you have a problem, there's a solution for it. And for most of the solution I'm talking about in my genre, which is cars, vans, and trucks, I have the solution. That's what I'm selling. Solutions, baby. Based on the law of supply and demand. People buy cars and they demand that they run properly, continuously, for the life of the car, no matter how old it gets. Engine components are replaceable, family. Replace them within service limits. Don't go beyond service the car, regular intervals, and don't go beyond the service limits. You'll keep things running efficient. But as long as you have a car, as long as there's cars on this earth, I'm gonna be in demand. Dewayne is in demand. You did. Now you see the law at work. See God's law at work. Now I need to work learn the principles of automotive technology, right? How to solve these problems with these automotive systems, which I do. I do, and I do very efficient, very well. I'm actually kind of all right at what I do, you know? I'm kind of good sometimes. I'm kind of good sometimes. I ain't gonna sit here and toot my own horn, but no, I'm damn good, fam. I'm god dang on super confident about it. Damn, I'm great at what I do. I'm waiting on my clothes now so I can get out of here. Get out of here. I'm gonna make this video, which is my offering. And then we are God's people. Who better to talk about kingdom than the actual people? I'm not talking about the people over in the land they call Palestine and Jerusalem. No. I'm talking about the actual people, which evidence proves, signs and wonders, and you should be pointing others to your God. I was sitting here listening to this video about Saudi Arabia coming into the knowledge of telling the truth that the God of the Bible, we will serve the Black Jesus. Saudi Arabia challenges global. Dig that. I'll be checking these videos out. Whether they real or AI, one thing about it is that someone that's in the know even created the AI. If it's AI. The name of this site is Bible Stories. hear a human voice, but I've never seen a human. Why we won't show our faces, I don't know. Maybe some people work in places where they can't. You know how it is. People see you speaking truth. Because why? You know you're a chosen one. You're one of God's chosen. And that truth being God's word and how it applies in life today. You see everything else around us crumbling. Where we at losing power? Why? Because they mismanage. And they don't do things in a righteous manner where it's equitable for everybody. The godly way. No, they don't. The hill climbing on this roof. You know it and I know it. And as a result, nations are cutting us off. Now I'm sitting back looking at that and I'm like, okay, what connects all of us? Yeah, something that connects us and pay attention. They de-dollarized and stopping trade. So that means, and they putting tariffs on one another, which causes inflation on us. But then I have to use my third eye, really pay attention. And I have to think, okay, this dollar, which is a tool, the dollar is a tool. And if used wisely, when you use it, either you're going to use it to buy things that create assets that create value, or you're going to buy assets that depreciate. You're going to buy assets that value over time, or you're going to buy assets that depreciate over time. Or you're going to buy assets that depreciate over time. In any case, you have a book of instruction that will help you to better decide based on the fact that, well, I can't say that. It's a lot of nuances. We have to read the book to establish because, in spite of what everybody like to say, God loves everybody and God created all people. I don't know about that, family, because when I read from a biblical perspective, you have the children of the fallen, which a lot of people don't believe, but I do. I do, because you have some people here that, well, are different, you know, are different. You got some people that's on this earth that, you know, the natural elements do things to them. They don't possess all of the qualities, say me in this instance, possess. I used to see it, family. When I was locked up, I used to be like, wow, the sun eating these people up. Literally eating their skin up. And it's causing problems. And I'm like, okay. And I had to look at that like, okay, well, everybody's not the same. The Most High. Okay, there they go. I can turn my TV off. But let me get to this video because I get to talking. But if it's truth, if it's the truth, that's good. Saudi Arabia know what time it is, man. They got their religion, and I don't knock it. They follow their religion. That's what they do. But I'm talking about the people with a book. Those people that scattered, God's people, that are still scattered, and He's gonna have to regather to bring them from the nations. Those who turn their hearts to Him in true family and really about that life. It ain't gonna be easy because they're gonna turn on you. Those you think that are into the Most High family, mm-mm. It's the time of testing and proving all things. It's just like Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they were in the Babylonian captivity. And the proving themselves by even by what they would eat. You know, Daniel chose not to eat the delicacies that everyone else was eating from their nation. Of that nation, he chose to eat what? Herbs. Look it up. Pulse. What is pulse? He chose not to drink the king's wine and all that, you know. Just give me fruits, vegetables, and herbs. That's it. That's Genesis 1. That's biblical. What you hear a lot of us talking about now. It just so happen to be these people who are shouting, we're not from here, which we know we're not from. Our ancestors' son migrated here and some were brought here on slave ships. Well, how do you know that? Because my last name belongs to who? My last name is a Germanic last name, which is of Welsh origin, coming out of Britain. Britain, Britain's children are the children that left, you know, that were contracted to supply slaves. Germany, Britain, France, uh, who else? They were, you know, the Dutch, the Spanish, the Portuguese. Well, these were Spanish American colonies, remember? Spaniards came and took over these colonies. They started even removing some of the people that were here already, taking them back, you know, to Europe. But you had our people migrating. Some were forced out, some forced out and chose to leave on their own. And this had been going on since the 1300s, family. Since the first Papal Bulls, law contracts in it. Look up the Asiento contracts. Asiento contracts, which allowed these nations like Britain, France, and all these other nations to supply slaves to the new Spanish Americas. They contracted. Can't make this up. And the Pope was going right along with it. Can't make this up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. I gave you the lead. Now, we're in this day and time where truth is being revealed, family. Will you remain asleep, a slumber brew, or an asleep Gentile? Or will we all press in, you know, make our election known and piss the devil off? You know, they don't like that, and they definitely don't like you hear you talking about you awaken and you speaking about truth. What is that? Everybody awoke. No, everybody not awoke. Because those that awaken understand there's a greater at work. They coming out of those places that were they once, you know, looked to. And their lives are being reshaped by the word, family. They being affected by the word in a way was different. Yeah, it's based on the word. That same word y'all reject. Well, that's what we use to change our life because we understand the sheer magnitude of it. There's layers. It's the instruction for life. Now the whole world is finding out. For some strange reason, they act like they didn't know. That's why I check these videos out because I understand even if it is AI generated, guess what? Somebody put the program in there. So somebody had to hear the truth to even make it an AI video. Yeah, they speaking it in there. AI is, you know, dictating it. AI didn't create it. AI just duplicates it. AI don't create nothing. It duplicates, fam. Think about what do a computer create? Yeah, wake up. It creates the system that we put into it. That's what it creates. Hello? Over here washing my clothes so I can pop out. I had to go get a t-shirt, so I ain't got no white t-shirts. I got pinks and pink and light pink, hot pink, and You just want the words Snow White. Oh, you want the Snow White print? Alright, let me see if they got it up in here while I'm sitting here waiting on my clothes. They got it, I'll print it up and smack it up with the words Snow White. I'll send you a picture. Yeah, I'm coming through, sis. I'm gonna do his oil change. I'm coming up, just waiting on my clothes to dry. Okay. A large shirt? Okay. For sure. I use white letters and pink letters. I'm gonna use white and pink so it can look pretty and pop. I got you. All right. I design special designs for putting prints on clothes. I just seen this lady, which yeah, okay. Perfect. Yeah, set that up for tomorrow. We're gonna do that today. Okay, you already looked at her car, so it's her problem. I ain't have to do no bunch of work. That's what I'm talking about, you know? All day, every day, family. We're gonna get to it. What the heck is going on here? All day, every day, we get to it. With these cars, vans, and trucks. And the people love it, you know? A lot of people deal with me because I'm able to do things in a timely manner. And they be like, man, you. I be like, yeah. Because this is what we do. We have a rhythm, a system. We've been practicing. I need to go change my clothes, put them on the dryer. So in about 30 minutes, and I'll be out of here by 12 o'clock. In between, I can give me a little workout. Once they dry, while I'm looking for this print, get a little workout, do some push-ups, I guess. 100 push-ups, 100 deep knee bands, and 100 leg launches. Do it all simultaneously. I ain't got time to relax. I ain't have to go look. If I had a garage in the back of my house, I can walk out the house, which eventually I'll get one. Trust me, I'm gonna get me one. Some land where I have a garage, I can walk right out the back and go to work. You know, yeah, pull up, bring me the car. I'll call you when it's done. Then we'll really get some traction. I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna share this. Fair use copyright. Fair use copyright.
Saudi Arabia, a country synonymous with the heart of Islam, has sent shockwaves through the global religious
all of them coming to the knowledge
with its unexpected declaration, a call to serve the Black Jesus. This dramatic and unprecedented shift challenges not only the deeply entrenched norms of Islamic tradition, but also sparks a global dialogue about race, faith, and history. For a nation so deeply intertwined with the origins of Islam, this bold move forces the world to grapple with questions of identity, inclusivity, and the limits of religious orthodoxy. How does a country steeped in centuries-old Islamic tradition reconcile this transformative declaration? And what does it mean for a global community still wrestling with the implications of racial and religious identity? The symbolism of serving Black Jesus resonates powerfully, particularly in a country where religion defines its laws, culture, and societal norms. For an American audience acquainted with the ongoing racial and religious struggles, this narrative takes on a dramatic poignancy. It juxtaposes the struggle for racial justice in the West with a theological evolution in a land many Americans see as unyieldingly traditional. This essay delves into Saudi Arabia's motivations, the global ramifications of its declaration, and the ideological upheaval that may follow. In doing so, it explores the complex interplay of race, faith, and power, unveiling a story as provocative as it is transformational. If you found this discussion engaging, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking explorations of global and philosophical topics. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights, questions, or perspectives in the comments below. 1. Saudi Arabia's perspective, embracing the vision of Black Jesus. Saudi Arabia's recent pivot toward embracing the concept of a Black Jesus represents a transformative shift with profound theological, cultural, and political implications. Historically, the kingdom has defined its identity through its role as the custodian of the two holy mosques, presenting itself as the epicenter of Orthodox Sunni Islam and a bastion of religious conservatism. This traditional role has granted Saudi Arabia immense influence across the Muslim world, positioning it as a gatekeeper of Islamic orthodoxy. However, the kingdom's announcement to embrace a vision of Jesus that acknowledges African or Middle Eastern heritage challenges entrenched norms, signaling a readiness to reimagine religious identity and global cultural narratives. This move, revolutionary in its scope, reflects a broader recalibration of Saudi Arabia's domestic and international strategies as it seeks to modernize, diversify, and lead on global moral and ethical fronts. The acknowledgement of a Black Jesus aligns with Saudi Arabia's framing of this decision as part of a universal spiritual awakening. By embracing the notion of a Jesus rooted in African or Middle Eastern ancestry, the kingdom positions itself as a corrective force against centuries of Eurocentric religious depictions. For centuries, Western portrayals of Jesus have largely reflected European aesthetics, reinforcing racial hierarchies and cultural biases that marginalize other communities. Saudi officials argue that this recognition is not merely a symbolic gesture, but a reclamation of historical and spiritual authenticity. By challenging the supremacy of westernized religious imagery, the kingdom seeks to underscore the importance of inclusivity, equality, and a shared human heritage in religious discourse. This shift is particularly notable given Saudi Arabia's historical stance on interfaith engagement and its relationship with Christianity. Traditionally, the kingdom has maintained a cautious approach rooted in its Islamic principles and strict interpretation of monotheism. By embracing a vision of Black Jesus, Saudi Arabia demonstrates a willingness to expand the boundaries of religious discourse, fostering connections with Christian communities globally. This move could signal a strategic attempt to bridge divides between the Muslim and Christian worlds, particularly in an era marked by increasing religious polarization and cultural clashes. The decision to endorse a Black Jesus must also be understood within the context of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, an ambitious reform initiative aimed at transforming the kingdom's economy, society, and global image. Under the leadership of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Vision 2030 seeks to reduce Saudi Arabia's dependence on oil revenue by diversifying its economy, fostering innovation, and promoting cultural and social reforms. Part of this effort involves rebranding Saudi Arabia as a forward-thinking and globally inclusive nation. Embracing Black Jesus can be interpreted as a deliberate strategy to align the kingdom with contemporary global values such as racial equality, social justice, and cultural inclusivity. By challenging Eurocentric norms and embracing a more diverse religious narrative, Saudi Arabia positions itself as a champion of historical accuracy and ethical leadership. This move also serves to attract global attention, fostering dialogue and admiration among international audiences who may view the kingdom's stance as progressive and courageous. Moreover, the kingdom's reimagining of religious imagery aligns with its broader efforts to reshape its domestic narrative. Over the past decade, Saudi Arabia has introduced significant social reforms, such as expanding women's rights, promoting arts and entertainment, and loosening restrictions on public behavior. These changes, though met with mixed reactions, reflect a broader trend toward modernization. The embrace of Black Jesus complements these efforts by symbolizing a break from rigid traditions and a willingness to confront deeply ingrained biases. While the political and cultural motivations behind this move are evident, the theological implications warrant careful consideration. In Islamic tradition, Jesus, Isa, is revered as a prophet and messenger of God, whose miraculous birth and teachings hold a significant place in the Quran. However, Islamic narratives of Jesus do not emphasize his racial or ethnic identity, focusing instead on his spiritual role and message. By endorsing a vision of Black Jesus, Saudi Arabia introduces a dimension to Islamic discourse that has not been traditionally emphasized, potentially sparking debates within the Muslim community. This development may also
Tell the truth, shame the devil, baby.
particularly between Muslims and Christians. In a world increasingly marked by religious divisions, Saudi Arabia's stance could symbolize a gesture of unity, acknowledging the shared Abrahamic heritage of Islam and Christianity. By embracing a more
Not
inclusive vision of
Christianity,
Jesus,
bro.
the kingdom
No, you
positions
stop
itself
saying
as a
that.
mediator in fostering understanding and cooperation among diverse religious communities. However, this approach is not without its challenges. Conservative elements within Saudi society and the broader Muslim world may view this move with skepticism, questioning its compatibility with Islamic principles. Balancing these internal dynamics while pursuing a global leadership role will require careful navigation by Saudi officials. The kingdom must articulate its vision in a manner that respects Islamic teachings while promoting the broader.
Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Whoa. And one day all of this will be yours. Thank you. Don't worry. That's not all I'm leaving you. I just called and got a guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policy.
Yeah,
For
ain't that shit?
Saudi Arabia's embrace of Black Jesus is likely to be multifaceted. Among Western audiences, particularly those advocating for racial justice.
So, there you have it. Do your research, do your due diligence. But above all, it's time to return to the Most High's words. Shalom.